What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review what might be the debut project by Olet. Basically this project is called Rebound EP and it came out in somewhere in 2013. So the details on this particular cat here, Olet, is particularly scarce. He was a rapper that was around more throughout like the early mid 2010s and pitches like that. I found this cat through Jackal Goldkick as far as this pitch going to happen. I want to say he might have shown me a song or two from him in the past. He's been kind of floating around on Jackal Goldkick's particular YouTube. Wanted to see what he was about just within the pitch behind it, just question like the appeal just behind that particular type of stuff. There's a lot of these rappers from like the 2010s, just that particular area, there's a lot of these rappers from like the particular 2010s that just kind of deleted their music and it just kind of vanished and went up in smoke. Like some of these folks that are more in like the underground kind of internet rap type sense, like more of these folks that are kind of in the underground type sense, like folks like JB and Dennis to a certain extent, some of those type of folks in particular, Belay even within certain aspects that I had to say, just looking after some of these type of appeals of some of these cats. I want to get to some of these folks while the music is still available just within the pitch. Now Olet is a pretty big mystery nowadays. It's not really as full-blown known. I tried visiting his Instagram and it doesn't have any posts on it and pitches like that, just standard stuff like that. There's really no common knowledge whatsoever of the projects that he drops. I'm not really as full-bound sure what he's done apart from this Rebound EP. He might have had a series of mixtapes. I don't know if there was a project before this one. And in the particular intro to this EP here called Thank You, he says that he had an album that was going to come out called Dreams or something like that. But for the particular pitch, judging by the fact that there's a song on here called Freestyle 2013, means the concept that this is probably dropped somewhere in 2013. Not as full-blown sure when, but I went to his official YouTube page and one of the songs from this project, which I think is like My Dream or Girls Around Here, one of those type ones. One of the songs from the particular album that was from 11 years ago says that he put these songs up in September 2013. So I don't know exactly when this particular project came out. Might have come out in September 2013, but the details are going to scare us. So, but regardless, this is a real excellent type project here. Easily going to get a classic score. Just some excellent type pitch. Just another vintage classic off the Datpiff website, and some of those type of appeals going to get here. Just excellent blistering type appeal. Olet definitely has some vicious type stuff to kind of give out this particular project. And the thing about it is he manages to do it in like a more Eminem style kind of personal type format. He even says one of these songs that he's trying to provide like some extra kind of vibes to kind of feel within the aspect of being a cat that you vibe with more so than the aspect of just standard just getting crunk all the time as far as this pitch can happen. Now, obviously with me enjoying the concept of getting crunk, I still appreciate this product within the pitch. So it's an excellent type fair kind of get that just within the aspect. It's good to have rappers and musicians that have the ability to do these personal type songs and actually get you to feel a bit within the tone behind it. It's a good aspect when you get folks like Hobson and Tech Nine and Eminem and some of these type folks. NF was pretty good at that. There's other folks that are kind of within that pitch, Dax and some of these type of folks, other ones within that fair. Some ones like this particular moody rappers, I think Deuce was pretty good at that as well as far as this pitch can happen. But it's just some excellent type of appeal to kind of get this here. So this is like a little sliver of like what Recovery kind of was circa like the early 2010s. Just within the aspect of seeing all the multitudes of styles. Olet has some pretty vicious overall pop rap that he attempts on here. Considering that this was his first project, I don't know where he got the hook artist for this. I don't know if he just ripped samples or what particularly happened there. It's just an excellent, I don't know how he got these particular samples out these songs here, but there are some great hook artists. There's like the chicks that do the songs Girls Around Here and My Dream are really excellent type fair. These are some vicious type ones, and the hook that's also on Therapy is a really vicious type one. Now I want to say the hook that's on Ashley's song might have been like a sample from like a Shinedown song. I know Shinedown is a band as far as those pitches kind of happen. I just look within the fair, just kind of questioning like the appeal behind it. This is very like I like the concept of what was kind of going on here. I feel like this is like an easy and kind of excellent kind of expansion of like the Recovery type style and some of the stuff that NF and some of those type folks were kind of doing with that particular style. Dennis was pretty good at this. Some of these type folks really had the aspect. There's a lot of things kind of transform within the concept of some of those initial kind of ground lanes that were kind of happening with Eminem's Recovery back in 2010. So this is like some further type of appeals. Some of the appeals that I mean by some of the appeals that I mean by some of that would be like a song like Girls Around Here just feels like a rainy day type makeshift, or if you look at like a song like Love the Way You Lie by Eminem, that's like a real kind of summer glaze type one that just really feels forlorn. But this is like one of those type ones where you get like the dramatic kind of rainy day type song within a movie soundtrack where this is like the tear jerking type moments as far as this pitch can happen. Really like that appeal, it kind of being like a tear jerking song just in the appeal of how Girls Around Here kind of goes. I feel like like My Dream is a great post-grunge type. I feel like the song My Dream is like a great post-grunge type tune to kind of get real excellent type one. Ashley's song has a real excellent sample. It's a real bravado type one. This felt like this was probably the single off the project, the one that was promoted just within the aspect. This is one that's still on Olet's original YouTube page as far as what's fair is going to happen. This particular song feels like Recovery at Night. So I'm just going to talk about these songs just to say out of the 5 songs on here, there's 6 songs on this particular EP, judging by what Jackal Goldkick had said. Judging by what Jackal Goldkick had said about this particular product, there are only 6 songs on this particular EP or mixtape as far as this fair is going to happen, and 5 of those are songs, one of which is just the thank you intro. So out of those 5 songs, I recommend all 5. So within the pitch, this mixtape's easily going to get a 10 out of 10, just some excellent type fair. Very secret type product. Now the social score, I'll have to decide what's going to happen with that, but just the aspect of how this particular EP and project kind of goes with it. It's like a vicious kind of snippet of some stuff here that really like the spin upon what Olet kind of does. Just really bewildering out of nowhere that just some of these cats were just able to kind of have that relative appeal just within the aspect of just all this. I mean, that's what makes Datpiff and some of these type websites, just the concept of like the 2010 so vicious, is just because you find these gems here. I definitely feel like Olet should have been a lot larger just in the pitch. It's that, like, on his YouTube page, he has like 2,000 subscribers and pitches like that. He got like 5 digits with a lot of his videos that are still up. But it's just within the fair, I definitely think he probably should have had like a multitude of songs just with other folks, just seeing what he could have done had he gotten far larger within those pitches. Because that's definitely the concept. I question why he deleted his stuff and why his projects are no longer around, how many he had, some of those type questions. But yeah, we'll just go in on some of these. I believe Ashley's song was the single here. There's like a glazed kind of pop rap makeshift, I'd feel like here. Just a great radio grab to kind of get real affable type sample. This works within the pitch. Basically every single song on here minus the freestyle from 2013 has some great hookage on here as far as this pitch can happen. They're all radio ready to something that's sing-songable just within the pitch, to just having like that kind of just grab for something that's just going to be actually something that this is a mixtape, but it feels album quality just within the pitch, just because the affableness of just being able to have like some vanilla mixtape makeshift that kind of goes along, and just is great car stretchers, great just affable makeshift in this pitch like that just has the appeal of this being something you can hear within the transgression of it. So it's a good concept. So this, like I was saying, Ashley's song is like a great radio grab. This is like a nice dark evening embrace to kind of get here. I definitely would feel like, and this is like Recovery at Night. So the concept behind this particular song is if you take Eminem's Recovery style, some of that pop rap kind of makeshift dredge that would kind of happen off that particular album, songs like Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie, some of those type pitches, and like Spacebound, some of those type ones. Now Spacebound was kind of Recovery at Night, but just within the pitch of just having a little bit more. Ashley's song is just a bit more of like a standard kind of vanilla makeshift single just within the pitch, just with like some night commerce just within the fair behind it. So it's definitely like some good work type commerce, I would have to say. If you're just needing like some tunes to get to work, some of that type fair just within the aspect. It's not just like that's only what that's for. It's definitely a pretty sing-songy type one to have like some affable fun with, but just within the pitch it really provides the example of just getting tasks done and just getting on with like standard business as far as this pitch can happen, getting errands, tasks, responsibilities wrapped up within some of that type fair and like the night commerce. So good type fair. Girls Around Here is a real nice one. Now this is the Rainy Day song I was talking about. This is like some rainy day kind of makeshift commerce, kind of get within that tone. Goes great with Ashley's song, just more of like a more kind of moody and kind of emo-esque type one. Definitely like the appeal of this. This is like, this definitely has some grand kind of radio appeal, I'd have to say here, and this helped carve out some 2010s pop rap, I'd have to say, within that. And a lot of this project feels like it helped carve out like some 2010s pop rap just within the sense behind it. Just some of these expansions of just seeing all the styles that kind of manifested within the particular pitch of some of these type tones. It's excellent type fair. I really feel like this is some great moodiness kind of get within this particular product. I do like the vibes that Olet kind of gives on this particular EP here. Just a lot of aspects that you kind of like. This is an emo project, and it does it in such a way where it's not like something that you just kind of feel like you're sensitive or something like that. It's just an actual aspect that you feel the vibes and you actually resonate with some of this stuff, as opposed to just, I mean, I do like songs like Freestyle 2013, which is the only real club song on this particular product, but I do like the concept of some of these type emote type songs that work pretty well. It's pretty excellent type pitch that Olet was able to nail these styles. My Dream is another nice one here. It's like a great post-grunge kind of like evening dredge, kind of get within that tone. This takes it back to like some of those type fairs, getting something that you get from someone someone like Godsmack or one of those type of folks. Just some of that standard kind of car stretcher, just in like some standard kind of overcast autumn dredge or pitches like that, just within the tone behind it. Just great type fare to kind of get within that appeal. Just like some basic kind of day after hours stroll to kind of have within that tune. Just ponder, grab a snack, some of that type fare. Now the lyrics to this song, My Dream, are a little bit more serious within the pitch behind it, but I do like the concept of some of this as to the fare behind how it particularly goes. Just great songwriting on here within the pitch behind it. Just good song to have like nice evening stroll. This kind of afterthoughts type pitch to kind of have just extra thoughts within that fare. Grab a snack, get some gas station runs, some of those type fares just to be able to have within that particular aspect. Good type tone kind of have for some of that. Just local kind of neighborhood type Jones kind of get within that tone. Kind of takes it to more of like a neighborhood fare compared to the songs like Girls Around Here and Ashley's song that are just more makeshift stretchers. So it's a good type tone to have some local typeness. Smoke a L, something like that in the neighborhood. The Lone Club song on here, which is some pretty excellent type pitch, is Freestyle 2013. Now I do wish there would have been more songs like this on here. Would have been some blistering type appeal to have kind of gotten that within the fare behind it. This is an example of some Olet that probably could have been just as vicious as like the emote type songs I'd have to say. This is like a warped kind of smoke a few, kind of buzzing residential commotion kind of get here. Just kind of an excellent appetizer to set the vibes for us this pitch kind of happen. Now this is very short. It's just a freestyle that lasts about 50 seconds, 55 seconds, somewhere in there. A little bit less than 50 seconds just within the pitch, but some excellent typeness to kind of get within that tone. Just a real nice one. Just a buzzer to kind of get things started. Just a good concept to just get the excitement running. Just get snacks out as far as those pitch kind of happen. Just a nice buzz type tune, kind of get within the aspect of just some pop off with the initial type fare. The unfortunate thing about this EP is just the fact that it's just basically like not necessarily like a tease song, but just a basic kind of appetizer that if you're looking for something as crazy or crazier as this particular song, it does not have that on here. But that's the only real thing that I would probably say this product lacks. Maybe like is a song or two shorter than it needed to be, and probably needed like something as vicious as this one. But great type fare. But Therapy is a nice one. This is another quickie here, but this is a nice appeal. It's like a woozy kind of late day air to kind of get within that tone. Just a great breath of fresh air. I'd have to say about this song, and unwind to definitely have after a long day, I'd have to suppose. It's some great work shift relief, and it's like a smoke one and kind of saunter type tune to kind of get. So this goes a little bit with My Dream. Not quite as dredgy, but this kind of concept of just relative, just unwind a bit. Just maybe work with a little bit of a drag today within that particular tone. It's kind of the aspect of just feeling good within the aspect of just having, just really works for some great relief and just the unwind and just really getting some smokes. This is a great one to just kind of feel a little bit turned up, a little bit. Therapy is a great one to just be a little bit burnt too, as far as those pitches can happen. Just have a good L in your system, a couple of zigzags in your system, some of that type fare, sip a nice cold beer, some of that type goodness, have some good snacks, some of that good appreciation kind of get within that tone as far as some kickback, just like the relief of it. So that's the appeal behind this product. So yeah, this EP/mixtape gets a 10 out of 10. Definitely within the appeal. Real shame that Olet is not full-blown around as much nowadays. I'd have to say within that particular vibe. I will say that the social score, that's kind of tricky. I would give the social score probably like an 8.75. I look within the pitch. I feel like this makeshift appeal with songs like Ash's song is a definite winner. I feel like Girls Around Here is a definite winner. I like the post-grunge kind of dredge of like My Dream, some of that type of appeal. The Freestyle 2013 is an excellent type one, but really I feel like there definitely need to be at least one more song like Freestyle 2013, just something that Olet could have done for some of that type pitch, and just having like a great song to have like a dance club smash, just something to kind of have the loosen up type vibes on here. Therapy is like the closest thing to that, but that's just another brief type one, another brief quickie to kind of get within that tone as far as just like a little bit of relief of just like a autumn or evening breezes within the pitch behind it. But I just look after it like this is quick to the point, just short and sweet within the pitch behind it as far as those pitches kind of happen. But I just look after it like this is a winning project. I gave the standard score of this album like a 10 out of 10, but in terms of the affability, there are some ones on here. It's not quite solo for Dolo to the pitch where it's just like only you and just your job, or it's not just meant for just your standard life and relationship fare as far as those pitches kind of happen, just Dolo type stuff within that particular appeal. But there's not really much expression in terms of like the aspect of like step out to like the craze of just getting like hammered and things like that, just in the aspect of just having a little bit more crazy type factor. I just look within the tone. I like what Olet was doing with this product. Definitely has the blistering type of appeal. This expansion upon recover style is pretty excellent just within the pitch behind it. Some of these makeshift, this is really radio ready. It's just an interesting aspect that his first product nailed it this good, so it's just within the fare. It definitely has the aspects of having it on here. The singles or like the radio grabs are really great on here. There is traces of like some nightclub nightclub type appeal, but it's just not actively expressed. It's just within tones, just a little bit more of a tea. It's a little bit more, not say a full-blown tease, but just kind of more that just an appetizer that just leaves you a little bit hungry. It's just kind of the concept. That's the tone, 8.75. So in terms of the future, Olet, the unfortunate thing is it's not really known what he's up to. It doesn't seem likely that he's going to come back, or really that you'll even find much of any other products. This might be the lone one shot of like what is there from Olet, because I just don't know the full-blown type stuff of anything he has left. Now there are other songs that Jackal Goldkick has up. In terms of like an actual project that he did, there may not be that many. That's just kind of the pitch behind it, but this is definitely a classic here. I would definitely track down JGK Records, the channel, fuck with some of this type of stuff, and get some of these downloaded, because it's some excellent type of appeal.